Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colour and Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video. Today I am going to go through this rather large stack of books I have next to me, of books that I would like to complete, in brackets, eventually. This is not an immediate goal of mine, but I was watching a video by Juliana Net Art who did a similar thing, and I was inspired to go through my collection and think about the books I'd like to complete eventually. As I'm setting up my 2025 colouring journal at the moment, I have been thinking about picking a few books, maybe 5, maybe 10, that I would like to focus on to complete eventually. Not necessarily for 2025, but try and make a good sort of stab at completing them in some way or form. So it's something I'm thinking about, and I thought I would share this video to share with you all the ones that I would like to see complete one day. Obviously there are more in my collection that I would also like to see complete, but these are the ones at the top of my list, and then I will select it down even further for 2025. So I'll move my little sign to the side here, and we will look at the first book. So this is Spooky by Sara Szewczyk, and this is actually a colour along hosted by Christina's Art Corner on Instagram and YouTube. I've done a couple of these little images at the front here, and with this book I picked out a colour palette. It's stuck in here. I picked out a colour palette of, I believe this is 36 colours, from my Black Widow set of pencils. I took a bunch of inspiration pictures from the cover, from other pictures on Sarah's Instagram, compiled them and picked out a set of colours to use throughout the book. And here was just me testing some of the pencils to see how it worked in here. I liked how the Black Widows worked, so I went ahead with those just for something different. I often use polychromos, so I like how this book is just Black Widows. But Christina from Christina's Art Corner has been going through and picking a page each month. You will see some of my tabs here. I am very, very behind. I think I'm probably missing a year's worth of pages at this point. But I haven't been finding the time to squeeze this in with all of the buddy colours I've got planned. But I love this book. I've got a limited colour palette, so it shouldn't be too difficult to decide what to do on a page. I just don't know why I haven't picked it up in so long. I've done a few pages in here. I love all of these jar ones. These are some of my favourites in the book. And there's quite a few of them. So here, I believe this is the latest page I did. This was the end of January, 31st of January. And I think this was the page for December and January last year, beginning of this year. I coloured the whole image and then it got to the hippogriff and I wasn't sure what colour to do, whether I wanted to go natural with the brown or a fun pop of colour. I decided to go for a fun pop of colour with the yellow, and if there's the hippogriff later on I will include it there. And I was inspired to do some red leaves based on the cover of the book. Was I? I don't know. I don't know where I was inspired, but I know I saw this, maybe it was on Sarah's Instagram, to use a variety of different colours with the leaves. I do like how it looks, and I just think this book will look so satisfying all completed. This was one of the first pages we did. This is the first page I did, with these dragon going around the bottle, and I've got some metallic watercolour and glitter gel pen accents here. Really enjoyed this. I used Inktense pencils which matched with my colour scheme to do the background of the bottles. Really love how that turned out. And I love this axolotl guy in the sort of blue lime green colour scheme I have for him. And then this was last October, the Bruner Potion. I definitely like using purples and greens in this, and little pops of yellow. I used a washi tape for the floor here. Just I thought having stripes of washi tape would make it kind of look like floorboards. And then when it came to the background, I didn't really want to do anything, so I just did lots of dots of different glitter gel pens and called it a day. But those are the 3 pages I have coloured so far in here. But it's just full of fun little scenes. This spooky cat and her friends. I went through and flagged a bunch of the old pages that I haven't got around to colouring yet. And I was feeling inspired looking at this, but I need to prioritise my buddy colours. But this is a book that I think would look really nice all filled out. One day I'd like to complete it. There we have it. And I think I've done, yeah, this little axolotl at the end, and here's my colour palette again. So that is Spooky by Sara Szewczyk. And have you seen on Amazon, she is releasing a new book next year. Cannot wait. It looks amazing from the cover, lots of purples on it. I'll show a picture on screen here, but I will definitely be pre-ordering that one. Next I have Nounours Thérapie. This is illustrated by Diane Dufour and published by Art Therapy. This is the French company that does a lot of the Disney books. And I love this book. It's my favourite of Diane's. And I really want her to release a new book. I've done this page during the summertime this year. Love the limited colour palette of it. I've used polychromos in this book. So far at least. All of my pages have been with polychromos. I love the variety of images here. I've done this one, and I think it'd be fun to use similar colours on this page with maybe one with a yellow, one with a red raincoat, and lots of blue to match the blue sky up here. That was fun. And I've started this one. I'm sure I will finish this during the winter season. That is coming up. But yeah, I used to want to complete the Boule de Poire one, but I don't know, I've become less inspired by that book and more inspired by this one. I think that even though this just has bears in it, the variety of scenes and styles is more appealing to me than the animals in Boule de Poire. I still love Boule de Poire, obviously. Just this one is slightly more appealing to me. Love this mermaid one. Wanted to colour it this year for mermaid, but just didn't get time to. Flipping through it now, I'm just like, oh, I want to colour that and that and that. There's not really any autumnal pages though, which I was a bit disappointed by. This book was picked by my randomizer wheel last month, and I went to look for autumnal pages and couldn't find any apart from one Halloween page, which I coloured this last month. That was a lot of fun to do. And then at the back we've got these additional note card pages, which are single-sided versions of some of the pages from the book. So that's Nounours Thérapie by Diane Dufour. And another little art therapy book. This is Disney Portraits, the small squares version. And you'll see lots of tabs dotted around this book because I used to try and colour all of the characters, or aim to colour all the characters for, I was going to call her Disney Meg, for Meg from Meg's Colouring Corner. She does an ABC challenge every month where she picks a letter each month, and I would go through and flag all of the characters for that letter. I've quite a few whips started in this book. We've got 2 pages side by side here. We've got Bambi and Hercules here. I like to base these with Tombow dual brush pens, or not Tombows, with just water-based markers. That's Tombow's, Hoo. I'm sure I'll use Crayola at some point. I didn't have them when I got this book, when I first started this book. And then shade over the top with various different pencils. I think here I've used Arteza. I've done Peter Pan here. I've added some nice silver gel pen in the background. And this is a book that I saw Megan completed. Started that one, and that one. I think I started all of these when Megan's letter was I. So I did all the Incredibles, just based them with the same pens for each of them. Yeah, Megan's completed this. Amanda from Amanda Colours has completed this. I've done Jessie here. I love how she looks. And especially as we share the same name, I wanted to do her justice. I really enjoyed the background. I think I based it with a marker. It looked a bit streaky. So I went over the top with pencils and did a bit of shading around the edge to create some depth. But she looks really fun. I'm so close to completing Jasmine. I've based it and I've shaded her skin and the gold. And I just need to do the rest. Shouldn't take too long. I've done Elsa here. I used a lot of this light blue metallic watercolour paint and outlined all these snowflakes with white paint pen. I love how she looks. And I really tried hard to recreate her eyeshadow with this sort of like purpley pink colour. And she's got some nice rosy cheeks going on. I think she turned out really well. I think I used Black Widows for her. Oh, and I used a soft pastel in the background for something simple. I started Cinderella when it was C for Meg's challenge. I think I was feeling a bit frustrated with this background bit. I didn't really like how it was going. So I abandoned this. But again, shouldn't take too long to complete. I think that's what all these tabs are for the letter C. That was the last time I went through this book and thought about colouring it. Which, when did Megan use C as her letter? Quite a few months ago, I think. We've got Dash here that I've done in marker base. Yeah, I like how vivid they turn out with the water-based markers as a base, and then shading over the top with pencil to smooth it out. I love this Olaf one. That would be fun to do right now because I picture these as sort of like autumnal colours, and it would be pretty quick considering it's got a black background and he's a white snowman. I've done Joy. I think this was the first page I did in this book. I absolutely love how she turned out. I used water-based markers, shaded with, I think, Arteza pencils, and I even added a blue glitter gel pen for the colour of her eyes because it was all black and it looked a bit stark, so I added an outline of blue. I remember that took several layers, and then brought it in on her dress and on these flowers here. She was so much fun to colour. Then I have Jafar, who is outlined in a gold glitter gel pen. There's a lot of glitter transfer over on the next page, but that's okay. I remember that being a lot of fun. See, I did almost all the J characters. Yeah, I did Joy, Jafar. Who's the other one? Jessie. Then I've got the Queen of Hearts. I used a black glitter gel pen to accent these hearts, as they were just blacked out before. And I think I used a red acrylic paint pen for the background, just to have a nice, smooth, flat colour. She didn't take too long to finish. And there's so much glitter on this page. And then we have a few note cards. And Aurora, weirdly enough, is the only one that doesn't feature in the rest of the book. Everything else here previously features. That's Disney Portraits. Love to complete that. Next, I've got Mina Raisa Dirt Europa by Rita Berman. This was one of my first Rita Berman books. When I first started colouring, I think this had just been released. So I absolutely love this one. A lot of early colouring in here, but still pages that I love to look at. I've done this bottle page. I've done both of these pages. There's a lot of colour transfer here. I'll need to get an eraser and try and sort that out. But you can tell some of these are very old because I haven't dated the pages. I believe I started dating them in September 2022. Got this as a whip. Still need to finish that. I know I used Arteza on that page. This is the first page I coloured in this book, and I still love how it looks. This was a more recent one with a nice pastel colour scheme. I have coloured a lot of pages in this book, but there's still so many to go. I did these 2 double pages. I remember really loving the result of this when I finished it, but looking at it now, the blending of the background is a bit rough and ready, but it's nice. It's nice looking back and seeing some old pages. This would have been done probably August of 2022. I've done this one. I used a nice limited colour palette for that one, and I wanted the same brown on this page, so I just based it with a pencil here. I never got around to actually colouring it, but I do like my pages to match. Did this one. I went very bright and bold for this. I think when I finished it I was a bit like, not sure about it. Especially these weird coloured lines in the window. Don't know what I was thinking there, but it's fun. It's different. These are 2 of my favourite pages I've ever coloured. I just love the colour scheme. There's lots of glitter gel pen on them. And it's just really soft and pretty. I think this sort of light blue, light pink, dark pink, beige go really well together. This one, I remember it received a lot of love on Instagram, but I wasn't too impressed with it. I'm not so much a fan of these mini pages, but the colour scheme does go quite nicely together. I can't remember if I found one online or if I just came up with it as I coloured, but I like the distribution of colours, and I've got them saved here. Yeah, Black Widows I used there. This is the most recent page I've done, the only page I've done in this book from this year, the Chocolatier. I've got the colours saved for this page. I used Prismacolors and Black Widows for this. And I've got these 2 pages here. I did the... No, I didn't. I did this one first, then this one a year later. I remember it took me a while to match the colours because I didn't record them down. But I used Brute Venom squares and macarons, and I was able to match them pretty well. This double page spread took forever, was really hard to come up with a colour scheme, but I really love this sort of mustardy yellow with the camel brown and red and blue. I think it works really well. Another double page spread here. I did this one first, then brought the colours over across to there. Love how these flowers turned out, they look so pretty. I love purple, that's my favourite colour. So that's a fun one to look back on. Done these 2. This is one of my first times using soft pastels for the background. I really enjoy how it turned out. Done this Scandinavia one. I think that was Brute Venom squares. It'd be nice to get this one done maybe for winter and have it as a comparison of 2 years ago. I did this November 2022. As you can see, completed a few, but still plenty of pages left to go, and it would be an amazing achievement to get this finished. It's mine where I Sudachi Roper. Next, I've got a few Asian colouring books. This is Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park, and this is a book where you have, let's get to the colouring pages, a coloured image on the left for you as reference on the right to colour. I just think the pages are all so adorable. It's really nice, thick, almost cardstock. A lot of the line work is different colours, depending on what it is. Well, this is a whip. This was just a page I was mindlessly colouring one evening. Then I put away and haven't touched it in a while. But I find it a really fun challenge to try and recreate these images. Got one completed page, which is this one. Use polychromos. and I love the different colours. I don't often use these sort of muted pinks and the sort of sagey green from the polychromos, but it worked really well. But this is a book that I could see myself completing. I think there's 10 pages per seasonal section, so maybe I could do it across 2 years or something like that. Do 1 or 2 pages a month, but I've just not been able to find the time to colour these, and as a lot of them are full-page designs, we have a few of these smaller ones. We're in the autumn section now, and this book did get randomised for October and November, so I really should be colouring in it. The wheel is telling me you need to colour in this book again. I really should get back into it. I do have a page flagged back here, this one with the leaves that I would like to colour. Maybe I'll leave this out at the end of the video and start colouring it. But I think the winter section is my favourite of all of them. I love these Christmassy ones with the tree and the market. I'm snuggled up watching the telly. Look at that Christmas jumpers one, so cute. The Christmas tree, yes. And this Christmas morning scene, yeah, definitely need to colour in this one. And we have a few posters at the back, which, oh, I'd love to have put up in my house, but they're double-sided, so I wouldn't want to remove them. It does have like lines here that you could use as guides to cut out, and I suppose you could change the direction of them depending on what time of year it is. But I don't know, cutting out something from a book seems horrible, even though that's what it's for. So that's Colouring Book for a Bright Day Together by Stella Park. Next I've got Wild Mouse Yuri's Journey Sketchbook by Makiko Inatome. This is from the Tokimeku colouring series, and you will have seen from my recent colouring book collection video that this is one of my all-time favourites and one that I would love to see complete one day, as it kind of goes through and tells a story. I've used polychromos for all of the pages so far in this book. I've done the spring season title page. I've done this amazing double page spread. It's so satisfying to get a big double page spread done like that. That was last year. I've got this Easter inspired one. I love this one with the berries. I just love every page in here. Summer season title page. And it would just look amazing completed, wouldn't it? With all of the same characters going throughout. I'm keeping the same pencil set with the polychromos so it looks cohesive. I have got this page and this page planned for this month. Hopefully I'll get time to do it. I'll be glad to get a page done in the autumn section finally. And then I would love to colour a Christmassy themed page in the winter section. Look at this Christmas street here. So many adorable ones to choose from. This Christmas party, wow, that would take a while. Definitely won't be doing that this year, but for the future. So that is Wild Mouse Yuri's Journey Sketch by Makiko Inatome. And the second book by Makiko is Seasonal Wreaths of Plants and Friends. This is a much thinner book, and I'm going to skip straight to the coloured images. There's much fewer pages in here, which I feel like makes it more easy to complete. I say that, I haven't done many pages in here. But I like these sort of double spreads where you've got the individual elements on this page made together into a wreath on this one. I often like to match my colour palettes. I've got my colour palette saved from this one that I did this year to use on this spread for next Easter. Kind of glad I did save half the page to do for the following Easter, so then I have one to do. But this is a book that would be great to get one done a month in. The summer section. Right, I'm moving this sign. I keep knocking it. This book did get randomised last month and I didn't get a chance to colour in it. Autumn section. Love this one with all the leaves. And the winter section. And this is the other one I've done, the Love Letters wreath. And then I've got all of these to colour for Valentine's Day next year. And we have a few 4 Seasons pages at the end and all of the titles, thumbnails. So that is Seasonal Wreaths of Plants and Friends by Makiko Inatome. Next I've got an uncoloured book. This is The Secret Invitation book by, oh I need to write this at the front, Natsuki. And this is a storybook, so it goes through these different stories of these characters preparing for a party, and it's just so cute. And wouldn't it look amazing all coloured in with some bright, vivid, bold colours? I think Prismacolors would look really nice in this book. But this is one of those books that I'd almost like to complete in order, just because it does have a story that continues throughout. I could have a reference sheet for colour combos for each of the different characters in here. The only thing I wish is that there was a bit of text in here so that you could learn more about the story. You kind of just learn it through the pictures, which is a different and interesting concept and means that it's universally understandable. Look at these elephants, how cute! But yeah, I've just been a bit, not nervous, but hesitant to start this because I love it so much. But I'm never going to complete it if I never start on it. It's just so many fun pages, and there's not a page in here that I don't like, which is a recurring theme for these books I'd like to complete. They're all pages I'd like to colour. I wouldn't put a book to complete if I didn't like all the pages in it. But there we go, and we have the thumbnails at the back. Yeah, I wish there was a little description about what was happening on each page. But look at that coloured image on the back, how adorable. That is the Secret Invitation book by Natsuki. Then another untouched book for me, this is World and Nature. Does world mean world? World and Nature? This is by Rita Prince or Reihan Udechi. This is a new book in my collection, which is why I haven't coloured in it so far. But it is full of these adorable, whimsical scenes of different animals, different sceneries, interior, exterior views. And this would just look lovely, all filled up with colour. It is a thinner paper than I thought it might be, but definitely better than Amazon paper. Feels more like a Colouring Heaven or Creative Haven paper to me. I love all of these scenes inside different things. I even like these small objects pages, and they're a good way to add variety in the book. Love this one with all the art supplies, that's so fun. Yeah, I've been hoping that the randomizer wheel might pick this, but alas, it has not yet. And because of that, I just haven't found the time to colour in it. Maybe I should adapt my randomizer wheel where I pick a couple of books that I'd really like to colour and then do my randomised section. I don't know, it's still a new idea, I've only done 2 months of it. I will be changing it up slightly for December, but it's an idea that I think will continue to evolve. But I'm really enjoying it for that random selection of my colouring books, ones that I wouldn't always pick out, and is making me a bit more focused with my colouring page choices. So that is World and Nature by Rita Prince. Super adorable. Still yet to colour in it. Can't wait to start it. This one I have done quite a few pages in. This is the Kawai Tarot colouring book by Lulu Mayo. This is my absolute favourite book by her. I love colouring tarot themed things. I was very tempted to just put all of my tarot themed books in this video, as I'd love to complete them all. With the major arcana set of 22 cards at the front, I am doing them in order. So I've done the Fool, the Magician, and they've all got a nice gold metallic border to them. High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor, and I have started the Hierophant. Started this months ago and never got to finishing it. And yeah, no more done in this section, but I will quickly flip through them. I really wanted to do one a month, and then I got busy with buddy colours, planning so many, I didn't get time to come back to it. But every time I bring out this book and I see the Hierophant whip that I've got going on, I'm like, maybe I should colour in it, and then I never get around to it. Then we move into the minor arcana, and so far all of these pages have been done as buddy colours with various different people. Done the Four of Wands, the Ten of Wands, the Knight of Wands, a few Wands pages. I really do like this section. Moving into the coins. Have I done any of the coins yet? No, I've done the Page of Coins, this adorable squirrel. And then moving into the cups, I've done the Four of Cups. And then the swords. Have I done a swords page? Maybe, maybe not. I've done the Queen of Swords right at the end. That's a really lovely colour scheme. I used a colour cube for that one. And that is Kawai Tarot. Oh my gosh, there's lots of marks on the back of this book. This is definitely well loved and definitely going to be on my books to complete for 2025 list. Depends on which others now. Okay, next I've got a nice cute and cosy colouring book. This is Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. And this is my favourite of the ones that I have so far. We have the little profiles of all the characters at the front here. And then we move into the sections, and these are split up by the seasons, which is always a favourite for mine. I just love colouring in seasonal books. So we have this as the spring section. Haven't done any in this section yet. Look how cute they are though. I like how these are a bit more detailed compared to some other ones that I have. Just makes them a little bit more interesting for me. This is the summer section. And I have done this gardening page. I just like to use alcohol markers and shading with them in this book. And then we're in the autumn section. Look at the pie one, yummy. And I have done one in this section coming up. Yep, here it is, the pumpkin patch. Did that last month. Really enjoyed colouring that one. And the winter section. Love the Christmas tree one. But I thought this would be quite achievable to complete in a year, or be close to completing in a year. There's 10 pages in each section, so that would mean doing 3 of these a month, which is very doable. And that is Cottage Friends by Jeanette Veronica. Could be a good option for 2025 to complete. Then I have Hanna Karlzon's Daydreams. I think out of all of them, this is still my favourite, even though it was her very first book. I just love it. I love all of the pages in here. I've done the title page. I think this might have been the first one I did in here. This cute spring themed bunny. Just, this would look amazing all completed. I'd love to get a Hanna Karlzon book completed one day. Got this as a whip with some of my colours planned out here. Another whip where I was testing out Inktense pencils in this book. these double page spread of the houses. Sorry, I am flipping through these books quickly. If I talked about every page I finished, this would be so long. It's already going to be so long. I've still got quite a stack of books next to me. But I talk about pages in detail in my collection videos. I've done this mouse page. I know at the start of the video I was talking about what I used on each page, but running out of time. This is Flowers and Bees. Got that as a whip. Pretty close to finishing that one though. My favourite page from the book, the frog one. Love that one. And as this was one of my first Hanna Karlzon books, it's great to see my sort of progression of colouring in here. Although I didn't get into Hanna Karlzon until quite some time into my colouring journey. Got this double page spread. That took a while with all those leaves, but it's lovely. This might be my favourite page I've coloured in the book. Just love how bright and vibrant it turned out. Then I have this last whip here that I'd love to complete this month. Will I have time? Who knows? And that is Daydreams by Hanna Karlzon. And then a brand new book in my collection. This is Sägen by Trolle. You will have seen that I did a very detailed flip through of this on my channel. It is over an hour long, but I go through each double page spread, tell you what the fairy tale is, and a short synopsis of each. And I learned a lot from researching that video. Even fairy tales that I was familiar with, I learned new details about them, the backstory of them that I never knew before, learnt about new fairy tales that I'd never even heard of. And doing that book, doing that flip through and spending so much time researching it has made me fall in love with this book completely, and it is definitely one I'd like to complete eventually. I do have some plans for this book, which you might see on the channel soon. But fairy tales is one of my favourite colouring book themes, so this was always going to be a favourite of mine, and just Maria's style. I like the idea of colouring maybe both pages at the same time, using the same colour scheme on both. As you know I like to do, keep the colours cohesive between the two pages. Or I could do it where I do all of the right hand pages and then I go back through and do all the left hand pages. I like these wintry Christmassy ones at the back here. These would be good for this time of year. Oh, this washi tape isn't very sticky. I need to replace it with something different, but I've got an index here which I will link in my Ko-fi store down below, which I just started up. So far this is the only thing on it, but it is an index of all of the pages in the book, the translated fairy tale and the author / origin of the fairy tale itself. And you've got these boxes here which you can highlight, cross, mark off as soon as you complete the book. That is Sägen by Trolle. Possibly one of my favourite books in the collection. I mean, just look at how pretty the cover is. Love it. Next, I've got Mini Mania Volume 1 by Gabby Wolf. This I have been hosting as a colour along. I've done a little post-it here to track my completed pages and when each of them, like what page I had scheduled for each month. Sorry, that took a while to get out. And I worked out that if we keep on pace with one a month, this is this month for November, then we will have this book finished by the end of 2025. So realising that fact has sort of inspired me to come back to this book and maybe go back and colour some of the pages I'd missed out on, as I did go a few months without colouring this. Done the sewing machine, started the portrait gallery. This was October's and I really loved colouring it. But this will just be amazing to have this book full of colour and to complete it at the end of next year. I know a lot of you have been colouring along with me and have been keeping up or are catching up. I need to do the same, catch up with my own. But there is all of the pages, and then you have the second set of images with a lighter grey line art and a black background. So if you ever want to colour them again, you have the second set. But to get the first set completed would be amazing in Mini Mania. Next, I've got 50 mythical miniatures. I had to include some Chameleon Angel cover books. I love colouring these so much. And Melissa from Winter 89 Colours has just started this as a project to try and complete for next year by doing 4 pages a month. I definitely will not be able to get that many done, but I did that title page for last month. I think this is one of the pages for November. And I love colouring mythical creatures. You can do them lots of different fun colours. I think some of the pages she's picking, some are randomised and some we are voting on, which makes it really fun. I just really like all these different creatures. A lot of people don't like how there's a name below it, but I don't mind it. It gives it, it's almost like a portrait picture frame with a label underneath. I've done the mermaid, which I think was the only page she'd done previously from this book, so had it as a catch-up for last month. Can't wait to do the Yeti. Hopefully it will be picked for one of the winter months. I believe I've done one more in here. I really love the Capricorn page. I'll probably try and get that done for January next year. Oh, I've done 2 more. I've done the unicorn. I think this is the first page I've done in this book. Went for a nice fun rainbow colour scheme for that one. I think this is one of the pages for November. I'll have to think about that one. Can't remember what the other ones were. I know I'm missing a few. Here's the other one I've done, the basilisk. Really like how it turned out. I used some different colours for me, and there's lots of metallic and glitter on here. Was the hippogriff picked as well? Maybe? Not sure. There we have it, and I've got a little tracker at the back. I've done 3 pages. Oh, and I've done the title so I can highlight that one too. That's 50 mythical miniatures. And then I have 50 woodland miniatures by Chameleon Angel Cover. I picked this one to complete simply because it is my favourite of all of her miniature books. I just think all of the little characters in here are so cute. I love woodland animals, woodland scenes. I need to fix this. I hate how it looks so far, but I'm sure with some pencil shading it will turn out all right. I do have a buddy colour planned in here for next month. And I have been talking with someone about possibly doing it as a group project book. So keep an eye out for that for 2025. This is the page I'm doing this month, the cute chipmunk with all the pencils. I'm looking forward to colouring that one. This is one of my favourite pages, the hedgehog and the berries. I really love this page, just about the alcohol markers. The mouse I also did with alcohol markers. This one isn't my favourite, but it's done. I think it's missing a background that. May need to add one at a later date. Love these bear with honey ones, super cute. I just think this would look absolutely lovely, all filled up with colour. I've done the cat tea party, put a bit of washi tape for the rug here, that's with alcohol markers too. And I've done this bunny collecting blueberries, love how that one turned out. So I've done quite a few in this book because it is my favourite. Here's my tracker at the back. I've done 5 so far. That is 50 Woodland Miniatures by Chameleon Angel Cova. And then I have Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Igusa. I have really fallen in love with Kanoko's art style this year. She has become one of my new all-time favourite artists. And out of the 3 books she has so far, this is definitely my favourite and is a book that I could see myself colouring every single page in here. I cannot wait for her next book coming out. It's going to be centred around this cat character called Leon. He looks so cute. She's been sharing updates on her Instagram. Definitely check that out if you haven't already. But I've done quite a few buddy colours in here so far this year. I say quite a few, I think it's about 3. But compared to other books in my collection, that is quite a few. I did this lemon donkey page. Really love how that turned out. And I've used polychromos for all of my pages so far in this book. I've just liked how they turn out, like the colours of them, so I've kept with it. I've done this double page Halloween party spread, which I recently completed last month. Got this page planned as a buddy colour, and I have another one planned for November and December coming up. Here it is, the Winter Wonderland gingerbread scene. But I like how it goes through different seasons. There's lots of different themes. I've done another page. Did I skip over it? Oh yes, here it is. The cat sleeping in the knitting basket. Super adorable. Love this book. It'd be amazing to see it filled with colour. Symphony of Cute Animals by Kanoko Igusa. Then I have Kirby Rosanes' Worlds Within Worlds, although I do believe that Dark Fairy Tales is going to be my new favourite. Again, I love fairy tale themed books. I have based a lot of the tree trunk here and done a little bit of pencil shading down here. I've got the colours saved, so that's not a problem to come back and do it later, but that's definitely a page that you chip away at little by little. But before Dark Fairy Tales comes out, this is my favourite Kirby book of all time. I love the theme of it. I've got this as a whip that needs finishing. I just love the creativity of it. How you've got animals with different objects on them. I want to add a black background to this because I think it will make it really pop. But that is one of my favourite pages I've ever done from this book. All the gold metal. I think from seeing Karen from My Colourful Country Life completing this book just makes me jealous, and I want to complete it too. I think it took her 2 years. It would definitely take me, I don't know, 6 years at the rate I'm going. I did colour in this book a lot last year, but I had fewer books to choose from last year. I've got more books to choose between now. I've done this Flower Fun Fair. I love this ant double page spread. It's one of my favourites. I'm kind of saving it. I've done the beta fish and the sloth. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous, stunning book. I've done the Cobra train. It's a gorgeous, stunning book that would look amazing. Even now, flicking through, I think I've got 10 or so pages completed. It's really satisfying to see them all done. And I think I've used a variety of pencils in this. This is the first page I ever did in here, and I still love it. Really love how it turned out. There's not much, if anything, I would change about it. That is Worlds Within Worlds by Kirby Rosanes. Then I couldn't decide between the 3 romantic country books, whether I wanted to pick the first tale, second tale or third tale, so I just picked them all. I will do a very quick flip of all of them. This one is a project book, but we haven't coloured in it in a while with Colouring Sabi. I just think because they go through in different chapters and they kind of almost tell a story about this country and the towns and the people who live in there just makes it really fun and satisfying to colour and complete. Towards the back half of the book I've done quite a few pages, so I love flipping through that section and seeing so many done back to back. I think it would be good to finish them maybe in order. So you have Romantic Country, the first tale, be the first one I complete, and the second and the third. But not necessarily limiting myself to any one of those books. Colour them all three at the same time. Well, not at the same time, you know what I mean. That's my favourite page I've ever coloured from this book. Love how it turned out. Really would like to colour that for Christmas this year. Yeah, just love every single page. There's not a page I dislike in this book. And I think my colouring turns out really beautifully in them. That is the first Romantic Country. And the second one. This one's a lot more detailed compared to the first, which is a good thing and a bad thing depending on your mood. I like how it means that you've got less background space to worry about. But on pages like that, you've got lots of tiny details that would take a long time to finish, but does make for a really satisfying double page spread. Like that page, the windmills. This double page spread of the birdhouses, that was a lot of fun to colour. Yeah, every time I flip through these books, I'm like, I want to colour that and that and that and that. Just every single page I want to colour. This is an amazing page that I've seen coloured several times now. And this one, the Mermaid's Grotto. I like how this one's a bit more magical compared to the first one. I started this, I think, October last year and then never finished it. This page of the owls is one of my all-time favourites. Saving to colour that for a rainy day. I did this pancake party page this year. That took a long time to complete. And I think that is it from this book. Yeah. So that's the second tale. And then the third tale, which I think out of the three is my favourite. But I think this one is a little bit harder to get a hold of compared to the other two, especially in the English edition. Look at that Christmassy theme page, how adorable. This one has quite a few Christmas ones at the front. I think this has a really nice balance of detailed and open spaces that just make for really fun colouring. This book was actually picked by my randomizer wheel. I've got a couple of pages flagged in here. I don't think I will get time this month to colour in it, but it would be nice if I did. That page would take forever to colour with all those trees, and it's a snowy scene here, but would look really lovely when completed. Done that one. That was the first page I've done in this book. Love the colour scheme of it. Very different for me, but really love it. Like all these fairy themed ones at the back and all the sort of mystical magicalness of it. Saving that Halloween one for another year. And there we have it. That is Romantic Country, the third tale by Eerie. I'd love to complete all three of them one day. Not going to be any day soon, that's for sure. A lot of colouring time in those books. And the final book I have to share with you is Mythographic Cosmic Spirit by Fabiana Attanasio. I had to include a mythographic book, but decided to limit it to just one. Out of all of them, this is the one I'd love to complete the most. because I really love this theme of tarot cards and zodiac signs. I have coloured a few zodiac signs in this book, as I was trying to go through and do one a month last year. I did a few months in a row. I did Aries, I did Taurus, but then I fell off the wagon and started Gemini. And I don't know why, but when it comes to colouring zodiacs, I want to colour them during the time of year it is. Is anyone else like that? I feel like I can't colour them unless it is Leo season. I've done the Hermit page, that's the only tarot card I've done in this book, but I really enjoyed it, so I think I need to colour some more. Started Virgo. See, a lot of these zodiac signs I have started or completed, which is good. There's only, I think, 3 or 4 which I haven't even touched yet. So Libra, Scorpio, I think Sagittarius as well, I haven't started yet. This moon page is my favourite in the book. I've done the Capricorn one. And then I started the Aquarius one. Don't like how it's turning out, which I'm really sad about because I am an Aquarius. And then Pisces I haven't started. So that is the last book I have of my tall list of books that I would like to complete one day. So let me know in the comments, is there a book or a few books that you would love to complete one day? List them out, I'd love to hear them. You will have noticed in this video I didn't include any of my project books, apart from Romantic Country, but I think we've taken a bit of a pause on that. I haven't heard from Sägen in a few months. Hope she's doing okay if you're watching this. I didn't include any of my project books. I will include that. I'm planning on doing a video where I go through and show all of the pages I've done up to the end of 2024, and then maybe do that as a yearly thing. But those books I would also obviously love to complete one day, as I am doing a page a month in it with a buddy. But these are 22 of books that when I was looking through my collection I saw and thought, I want to complete you one day. I'm going to try and limit this to a few focus for 2025. Got some time to think about it. I think Kawai Tarot and Cottage Friends are definitely going to be 2 of them. And then I'm not sure about the rest. Let me know which books you would like to see me complete. And thanks so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, everyone. Bye, everyone.